So I'm going to be reading you one of the chapters that I never thought I would read out loud here, and it's from my memoir. Here we go. I need to tell you something I've never fully said out loud. I have a receiving wound. Not just with money, with all of it. Love, help, recognition, money, commitment. All of it. It started early. I used to play the piano by ear, improvisational, advanced chords and scales, and my grandmother would ask, "Pero niña, ¿cómo sabías cómo tocar el piano así?" I don't know, it was just easy. Someone would compliment me and I would immediately make myself smaller than the gift. That was my first receiving wound, and I didn't even know it yet. Then came my first boyfriend. He said, "I love you." And I said, "Don't just say that if you don't mean it." I couldn't even let love land, not even then. Then came the $100,000 in debt. I didn't tell a single soul. I just said what I always said. I'll figure it out myself. Because that's what I learned, watching my mom go through perimenopause alone, my grandmother busy, my dad working all the time. Little Isabel alone, figuring it out outside with her trees. Everyone is busy with their own thing. I'll just do it myself. That little girl became a woman who slept in her kitchen alone, paid off $100,000 alone, built 4 businesses alone, stood on 30 global stages alone, telling her best friend she wasn't good at business, and her best friend almost spitting out of water. Are you kidding? I watched you build so many businesses just by me living with you in just the past few years. I couldn't receive my own recognition, not even for myself. And then came the cacao ceremony, alone in my home. That way I always do it. Before any big business decision, any big life moment, I sit with my spiritual board of advisors, my pendulum, Penji, my guides, my ceremony, and they spelled it out. Love is energy is money. I sat with that for a long time because I had to understand why I could give endlessly but couldn't receive. Why I could coach others to own their power but kept calling myself, "Oh, I'm just a coach." Why I could stand on 30 global stages and still shriek in rooms I built. You see, my mom could only love me as much as she loved herself. My dad could only love me as much as he loved himself. They gave what they had in the ways they knew how. I had to stop waiting for the love to look the way I needed it to look and start receiving the love that was already there. That was part of the healing. Not one ceremony, not one moment, but it was years of strangers consistently showing up for me. My mentor who passed was one of them. My best friend saying, "I'm doing this because I want to, not because I want something in return." Someone else saying, "Don't pay me, just let me do it as a friend." Learning that receiving isn't weakness, hyper independence isn't strength. It's just a little girl outside who decided the world was too busy for her needs. And then today, a Tuesday at 41, after 18 years of building, after $100,000 debt paid off, after 4 businesses, after 30 global stages, after a documentary, after working with Fortune 500 clients and so much more, it moved from my head to my heart. Love is energy is money. I believed it up here for years, but there's a difference when you feel it right here. The receiving womb doesn't mean you stop giving. It means you finally let yourself have what you've already earned. The recognition, the love, the money, the power, the rooms you built, all of it. Spent 41 years learning to receive, and I'm just getting started. And just so you know, this is the work that I do with the clients that I work with. It's not just strategy, it's not just systems, it's not just building your business. It's everything underneath it, because you got to be working on your inner, because that's reflected outwardly.